Hi, Gabriela.
Hello, how are you?
I'm doing good. Thank you so much. Firstly, nice evening or good evening.
Mhm.
I know that you're busy, but still, thank you for making some time for this podcast so that we can share something to the people. And I see there are so many enthusiast, curious people who have registered for this, and they might be really, curious to know uh, your experience. Maybe we can
Yeah.
quickly start with a quick short round of introduction.
Okay, so my name is Gabriela Lovas, and I'm an economist by qualification. I'm Hungarian by passport. I'm almost Spanish by heart, and at the moment I'm sitting in Germany. So it is a bit complicated. I live between Budapest and Barcelona. I spend 50% of the time in Spain and half of my time in Hungary, in Budapest. And I started my career as a consultant at a Big Four company. I was in finance originally. I was working for KPMG at the corporate finance department, and it was a really hard work. And when I decided to have a family, to have kids, I couldn't do this job because it was a 50 plus hour work day. So while my kids were small, I went into freelancing first. And I was still in finance and investing. I was writing a lot of articles. And then Bloomberg reached out to me, but my kids were still so young, so I had to turn it down. Yeah, it was a difficult choice. But later, when my kids were a bit older, Bloomberg reached out again, and this time I accepted. And I became a full-time financial journalist. I was part of the European equities team, and I had two bits. I had chemicals and I had healthcare stocks. And I loved especially the healthcare stocks. It was my passion. I was covering a lot of European healthcare companies, Sanofi, Roche, and also chemicals. And this job was a bit like a financial analyst because I had to analyze stock movement. So when the price of a stock moved even a bit, we had to find out why. And it was a real time, so it's a real time news agency, as you know. So it was a very fast paced environment. It was very competitive too. And then at some point we decided to move to Spain. That was in Budapest. And I had to leave my job because in Barcelona there is no Bloomberg office. They have one in Madrid. So I quit my job and moved to Barcelona. And as I speak Spanish, I decided to find a job there. And then COVID hit. And that's when I moved to freelancing again. And I was still in investing and finance. I even joined an investment club in Barcelona, which was a great experience. I think we were 12 people, and we invested together. We paid 50 euros every month, and we decided what to invest in. So I learned a lot about investing in practice because in Bloomberg, I was covering stock price movements, but here we put in some money. And I was freelancing for fintech companies. I was freelancing as a contractor for Big Four companies. So I had a lot of work in finance. It was very easy. Um, and then at one point, I was working for this fintech company, and they asked me to write about ESG investing. And at the time, I had no idea what it was, but I started my research. And I had to write a lot of articles about ESG investing, and it was love at first sight. I decided that this is what I want to do, sustainability, because my whole life I was writing about investing for investors, and I was looking for something more fulfilling and for a purpose driven work. but I didn't know much about it, like I said. So I did the CFA ESG certificate, which is now called CFA Sustainable Investing. And then I did the GRI certificate. And as an economist, a finance professional, I didn't know much about impacts. And I was blown away that, oh my God, I never paid attention on impacts, only risks. So, and at the same time, I joined, I wanted to volunteer because I was looking for more purpose and more impact. And I joined the Professional Women's Association or network in Spain, in Barcelona, as a mentor first. I really like mentoring other people and helping, especially young people, to find their uh, next career moves, especially women, because it's very difficult as a women to have a career, you know, the family and kids and stuff. And I joined them as a mentor. But I really like this organization. So I joined the team as a volunteer and I became a social media manager for them. And ever since I really like mentoring, so I was very happy when you said that I can give some career advice for young people because I love doing it and I've been helping women and men too in their career ever since. So yeah, that's why I was so happy that you
Oh,
invited me.
thank you, Gabriel. I mean, that's quite an experience you have there, and yeah, I think you mentioned you've been juggling between countries like Spain. Now you're in Germany, Budapest. Maybe a question before we actually get into the details. You, as an economist, there is a lot of research and investigation all the time involves, right? If you want to really write an article, you have to dig deep, right? You need to come up with facts. You need to maybe connect with people. Um, of course, we can get into the details, but what I really want to ask, do you get nervous sometimes
When I have to reach out to people.
or anytime? Like, when do you get the most nervous, for example? Are you nervous right now?
Yeah, when I have to
Okay.
do public speaking, yes.
Okay. Okay.
But reaching out to people for me is very easy
Hmm.
because I'm very curious about people. So, for example, I always manage to get some very special comments. I had to break news at Bloomberg and I had to reach out to decision makers. So I couldn't interview experts or only decision makers. So I really had to chase people. But for me, I don't know, it was very easy. For me, it's very easy to talk to strangers, maybe because I lived in so many countries. So I never get nervous when I have to reach out. And I can make people speak. So they tell me stuff. But I always tell them when what I'm going to write. So if I write a story, I don't work as a journalist anymore, but I always send back their comments. I always get it approved. So, and I've heard a lot of insider information through my job at Bloomberg, but I never published that. So I was very careful because people do tell me stuff.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, I think coming from your background, right, especially journalism, I think that must be happening more often in your line of work for sure. Um, I think yeah, very interesting and also very curious to also know the pivot you did towards the ESG space because you were working on investing, chemicals, healthcare, and then you were also personally involved in investing in finance. And then all of a sudden you moved towards ESG, and you also came up equipping with tools like training. You did your self certifications and all, so that you are prepared to connect with people. But how did that happen?
So yeah, when I started learning about ESG and sustainability in general, I somehow missed writing. I'm a bit addicted to writing. That's my problem. So I have a lot of journals. I love handwriting. I love writing, publishing, and I'm used to it because I've been doing this my whole life almost. And I started posting on LinkedIn, but I just wanted to document my learning journey. And I wanted to make contacts in sustainability because I had zero contacts in ESG and sustainability. And at the time, I had 500 followers. And I never wanted to become an influencer. I just love writing. I post a lot. And people started following me. And I was shocked. The first 10,000, it was stress free. It wasn't, but after a certain number of followers, people started putting some pressure on me. A lot of people reach out to me. I'm getting a lot of requests, a lot of messages, and I cannot say yes to every request because it would be impossible. So I never expected these challenges. But now I'm used to it, so now I don't mind. And I still love writing, and all my, no, most of my jobs and my clients in sustainability came from LinkedIn. But, with Omnibus hit, and it was very difficult. So for a while, there were no, everything went quiet, everything was frozen, the market was frozen. The budgets were tightening, there were no jobs, no clients for a few weeks. And then, and I want to give as an advice to people. I decided to join some local communities. First, I joined some big online communities, but some of them were US based, others were UK based. So it was great for networking, but it wasn't really good for finding clients. So I decided to join, for example, again, Women in Sustainability network in Barcelona. I love that. It wasn't my idea. I just joined it. I think there are like 50 or 60 women there. And the founder is a fantastic colleague. She's called Lottie Hawkins. She's really great. You should interview her. And we share jobs there. And when I was in Budapest, I decided to set up a similar club or a similar circle. So it's a WhatsApp group, and I invited a lot of women there. And I'm the founder of this group, and I encourage the participants to share job offers and clients. Or, for example, when I have to set up a project team, for example, I don't know much about carbon accounting. I've never done that. So if I have a client and there is a project and we need carbon accounting, I can always reach out to those women in those WhatsApp groups and ask for help. And it's so much easier to set up a project team because I no longer work alone. Sometimes I work alone for a client, but sometimes you need a team, and it's so much easier. And I always organize events in Budapest every month or every 2 months where we can sit down in a cafe face to face because it makes a difference. And in Barcelona, I've already attended 2 in-person events, and I'm really hoping to attend another
Oh,
one next week
okay.
because it's very important to have a coffee with someone or sit down face to face with someone because I don't know, I think it makes a difference. And that's why I also attend conferences
Hmm.
because I can meet people
People in
there
person.
and yeah, meet in person. So for me, especially since COVID, meeting in person is very important. So I'm really looking forward to this meeting next week.
Thank you. And also, if you can quickly share, like, 2 to 3 tips or advices for freelancers or solopreneurs who want to get into the space of ESG, how can they find clients? I mean, whatever you shared, your experience, an amazing blueprint. But for example, I'm based in Netherlands, right? And we
Yeah.
have a big market here for sustainability, for ESG reporting, for carbon accounting. And we also have quite a lot of freelancers, consultants who wanted to work. But the difficult challenge is finding clients, finding projects. What would your suggestion or advice be for them? 3 to 4 top tips.
So, like I said, if you have a job, don't quit. don't quit now because you can see that there are so many uncertainties. For example, I love what you are doing because like you told me you have a full-time job and
Yes.
you're doing the sustainability on the side, and I think everybody should do that. And
And why is that? Because of the
mhm.
uncertainties. And why is that?
Yeah, because no, two reasons.
Two reasons.
One, because of the yeah, two reasons. First of all, because of the uncertainties, because you see, nobody expected this to happen, really, what happened to the market.
Yeah.
And if you have another leg, then you are not lost. And you know, you need some. I was in finance, so I know that you need some passive income if you can do it, or investments. That's why I joined the investment club, because you learn how to invest and you have a passive income. You don't lose it. If you lose your job, you survive for 6 months, for a year, and you don't get stressed mentally. I see a lot of people burning out, and I understand this because it was really bad what happened now. But it's not only that. Even if you are in sustainability, you need some hard skills. So it's great if you can couple it with marketing or with finance, or I don't know, carbon accounting. So in that sense, you need two legs, or even more too. Because for example, I'm in sustainability, but I'm also in finance and content. So I can always get a job in content writing. It doesn't have to be about sustainability. I really want it to be about sustainability. But if there are no jobs, I can write about anything. So that's my first advice, that you have to stand on a lot of legs,
Yeah. Yeah.
sometimes more than two. And then, um, and the other thing is that so it's very difficult to find an entry-level position in sustainability right now. But on the other hand, there is a trend that in conventional jobs, for example, if you're in procurement, you will need green skills. So you could start in procurement, you can start in finance, and you can add green skills. Everybody is talking about selling sustainability as a business case. So you can read a lot about how to sell sustainability. So you get a job in procurement, and then you can start talking about sustainability with your boss. So, and if you can sell it, you have to learn how to sell. You have to set up a good business case for it. So, and then also forget the idea of being a sustainability generalist.
Mm.
Pick something.
Mm.
And what are the hottest skills right now? Data analytics,
Yeah.
project and change management. So learn that if you can. AI and sustainability. And then also um, carbon accounting and everything related to carbon. This is very hot right now. Everybody is doing climate and carbon accounting. So pick a hard skill and learn about it, and learn by doing. So I would recommend people to do some volunteer jobs, but not because you want to be nice. Of course, you want to be nice, but you have to demonstrate. For example, I see people building apps,
Mm.
carbon accounting, or whatever. You can demonstrate that I've built this. So if you have an interview and you talk to your hiring manager, you can show them that, okay, I was volunteering, but what did you do? Maybe you can document it and build a case study. I did that, and this is the outcome. So I would start doing the job that you want on a volunteer basis. I think it's very important, and you have to be able to show it to your next boss
Yeah. Yeah.
what you've done. And then, so never confuse passion with competence. So everybody is
Passion with
very
competence.
passionate.
Yeah. Yeah.
I am very passionate.
Yeah.
I want to save the planet, but you have to show how. You cannot just say that, okay, I'm here and I love nature and whatever. You really have to show competence and not only passion, because everybody is very, very passionate. And then network. in person. That's why I attended conferences. And for example, last year I was volunteering in Paris at the Change Now conference. It's coming now, so you can. I think you can still apply to be a volunteer. It was a huge team. We were 500 people, and there were different teams. So you can pick what you want to do, communications or whatever you want to do. And in exchange, you can attend the conference. It's a 3-day conference. You don't have to pay for it. And so I was working for a few hours, and then I attended a lot of presentations. I met a lot of people in person. It was a fantastic experience, but sometimes I attend as a normal visitor, and that's great too. So attend conferences, and if you can talk to the practitioners who are actually doing the work, it's tricky because they usually don't have time
No.
because they are doing the work,
Yeah.
and especially because if you look at the sustainability teams at big companies, they were small. There is one people or two people, and now they even cut that back.
Work budget.
There are a lot of layoffs, so I think it's difficult, but you can try to reach out to practitioners who are actually doing the job and talk to them. But don't beg for a job. Tell them something. For example, you can tell them how you can figure out how to help their work and offer something for free. Maybe
Yeah.
that's a good way to approach people, and and then find out what hiring managers are looking for now. So read those ads because there are some jobs. I can see more and more jobs actually in sustainability because for a few months it was dead.
Yeah. But I
But now
think it is coming back again slowly, right?
I think it is coming back again,
Yeah.
and so there is a hidden job market.
Yeah. You just gotta have to tap that market.
You have to tap that market, and if you manage to meet people in person,
Yeah.
I think that's the best way to tap into this market. And if you attend these small communities, local communities, I think that's the best way to find that hidden job market.
Oh, thank you, Gabriela. If I have to summarize, get involved with the community, do the volunteer work, have some practical experience, never confuse passion with competence, always have a clear scope and idea about what you're doing. And yeah, upskilling, right? Especially try to have those skills and always have a strong technical concept like, data analytics or AI versus sustainability, these
Yeah,
kinds of
yeah,
things.
yeah.
Mhm.
And learn by doing.
Learn
So
by doing.
and you don't have to pay a lot of money for those expensive courses. You need a couple of certificates because it does look good and it gives you credibility. But there is so much free stuff out there. You can follow people on LinkedIn or on YouTube. There are a lot of free courses, so you really don't have to spend a lot of money on that.
Yeah, yeah. And regarding the mentorship which you're doing, are you still doing it as well, even now, the mentorship?
I'm not doing it officially
Yeah,
for this network, but yeah, I'm supporting especially young people with advice. I look at their CVs. I try to introduce them to people. Uh, a few years ago, I was interviewing a lot of people to help them get seen, to give them some free promotion. I'm not doing that now because I don't want to be a journalist anymore.
yeah, yeah.
Uh, but yeah, I'm trying to help. I'm trying to find ways to help people, especially now because it's very difficult, and I can see people are struggling. So.
So, if someone wants to reach out to you for any mentorship program or any advice or career advice or anything, how can they reach out to you?
There are some official programs. For example, if you are in Barcelona, you can look at PWN.
Hmm.
It's a mentorship program, but they are everywhere. They are not
Yeah.
only in Barcelona. There are a lot of cities. So that's an official program. Um, my problem is that a lot of people reach out to me, and I can't help I'd love to help everybody, but
But you only have 24 hours and
exactly,
two hands,
exactly.
right? Yeah.
Yeah, that's a bit difficult, but if yeah, you could try. Sometimes when a lot of people reach out to me with one question or one topic, I do a post.
Mm. Yeah, so that
Right.
it can be helpful for a larger group of people, so that question might have
Exactly.
for others as well.
Exactly, because a lot of people were asking me about my GRI certificate, and I decided to do a post so everybody can get the information.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And Gabriela, could it be that because you come from journalism background, you already know people, you have a huge networking even before getting into this ESG space, could that be one of the reasons for you to, how do you say that, get into projects because you know people? Could that be the reason? Because if someone from a different background who wants to get into this space today, could that be difficult or different for them?
Yeah, yeah, journalism helped a lot because I'm very curious, and curiosity helps because you reach out to people, you ask about their life, so that helps.
And you also make networking with them, right? The moment you reach out to them,
Of course.
then they are
Yeah,
within your circle, so you can always reach out to them back again.
yeah, and I'm because I was a journalist for so many years, I'm used to rejection. So if somebody says, "I don't want to talk to you," okay, fair
So
enough. You don't
maybe
want.
that is the question. So how do you tackle the rejections? Like how do you feel if someone says, okay, thank you for your message, Gabriela, tata, bye bye. How do you feel? How do you react, or how do you take it?
Yeah, I'm kind of used to it. So because as a journalist, I've been rejected a lot. So I reach out to the next people. You have to get you. Yeah, I remember I did a rejection challenge many years ago. I don't know, it was a long time ago, and I was applying for jobs or something, and I got rejected a lot. And that time I was a bit, yeah, I was very disappointed, and I decided to do a rejection challenge. It means that you try to get rejected every day.
Okay. And how
And
does
I
it
had,
work? How did you do that?
it works. You have so much fun.
Oh,
It's
you
fun.
just randomly send requests or messages to the people. Like, how do you get the rejection every day?
I don't know. It's not only professionally, like personally. You ask a silly question, or and then I don't know. Somebody did it, and they were blogging about it on Instagram, I think, and it was hilarious.
Yeah.
And you really have to start it, and you will love it. You just ask. Sometimes you ask impossible things, and then of course you get rejected. But because it's just a challenge, you want to get rejected. Your whole mindset shifts. So
Okay.
I really
That's
recommend this because you have a good time, and you should blog about it because it's fun.
Yeah, yeah. No, that's definitely interesting. I never really thought about it. Like, take it as a challenge so that the more rejections you get, you're basically winning the challenge, and you're also preparing your mind so that in real life, when you have a rejection, you wouldn't really feel that much bad, or your confidence doesn't go low. You know?
No, it
No.
doesn't go low. And the thing is that you try to get rejected, and you will see that, but it's such a silly request, and I didn't get rejected. So
Yeah.
it gives you confidence. I'm really.
Yeah, yeah, totally agree. And also going back to you gaining followers. So you mentioned initially you just had like 500 followers in the LinkedIn, and slowly you started posting about your journey towards ESG, being very authentic, very natural, very transparent out there, and people really liked it because you were trying to add some value, right? You were trying to create some value to others, and people really started following you. How long did it take to reach from 500 followers to now 25,000 or 22,000? I don't know.
23.
23. Okay. I think we
Oh,
are
I
on
don't
the way
know.
for 25.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think it was about 2 years.
2 years.
2, 3 years when I reached it, but I don't have a content strategy. I don't have a content plan. I usually post when I have to wait, when I'm waiting for when I'm on the train or on the bus, and I post from my mobile phone. So I really don't have a strategy. it's just I love writing and so I love the comment section because sometimes I have an idea and I want to test it. I want to know what other people think. So I'm really grateful for all the comments and I'm learning a lot. I love those interactions. These are the best.
And how often do you post? Like very
Whenever
regular?
I feel it. Now, I don't really have time because I have so many projects, but whenever I have time, or I see something interesting, and then I do a post about it. So it's random. I don't have, I can't tell you because it's totally random.
Okay, okay. But let's say that, after watching this podcast, if any client or any person who really wanted to do a project with you, if they want to reach out to you, is there like any official channel, or they can just send you a text on LinkedIn?
LinkedIn, yeah, I'm watching my LinkedIn messages, yes, of course. And if I have time, I try to reply. Sometimes I forget and I apologize for it, but I really try to reply everybody because I know it's how difficult it is.
Yeah, yeah. And also the scope of the project, right? Are you only doing projects right now within Germany, or you are also open the entire European Union, like anywhere? Like,
Not at all. I have no projects in Germany, not at all. Because I'm just here for 2 weeks, so I don't
okay.
live here. I live between Budapest and Barcelona. No, I don't
So
know.
only you take up projects from Spain or Budapest.
And interestingly enough, most of the projects are from the UK. I don't know why. I've been thinking about it. I'm getting a lot of projects from the UK. I'd love to work for the European Union, but I always wanted to work for the EU or help the EU or EU companies, but I'm getting the projects, most of the projects from the UK. I'm getting some from the US, but for me,
The time zone
I
difference.
don't take,
No.
yeah, I don't really understand the US market. I don't
Yeah.
understand US politics. And for me, it's important to be European and I really want to support the EU and European
Yeah,
companies.
yeah, and I think we are already past 2 minutes, but maybe a question that could that be the reason that you're getting projects from UK and not from EU is because of constant change in these regulations and the backslash we recently had with the omnibus. Could that be the reason that the projects in EU are getting slowly down and maybe sorry, and maybe you have projects from UK? Could that be the reason?
No, because when I was in finance, I got most of my projects from the UK. I don't, I really have to think about it because I don't know why. I
Okay.
don't know why. I lived in the UK for a while and I really understand the culture and maybe the language. My German is not good enough to work here, so I lived here for 2 years and I think you need the German to work as a freelancer. And I speak some German, but it's not enough for.
And
Uh,
how many languages do you speak?
so I'm native Hungarian. I speak English, Spanish. I love Spanish. And I tried to learn German here. I went to the Volkshochschule, but no, no, I don't know. I couldn't. I tried my best.
Okay, okay, okay. No, that's so amazing. Um, yeah, maybe according to you, what to expect this year, because we are already in February, so we already passed January. 1 month is gone in 2026. What do you think we can expect this year, especially from EU and European Union Commission?
Yeah, this is I have the crystal ball,
Okay,
but this is a big topic. I really have to because I have to jump to the other
okay,
meeting.
okay, okay. Yeah,
But let me just say some things. The crystal ball, you have to look at what the EU is doing. So, for example, regulation-wise, for example, last year was about Omnibus One,
yeah.
the sustainability regulations. This year, there are 10 omnibuses. Omnibus One is just one. And these packages will also affect sustainability. So I would recommend looking at the environmental omnibus because 26 is going to be about that. So look at that. Look at the EU's clean industrial deal because
Deal.
you know a lot about what the EU wants and where the money goes.
Yeah.
because that's important for you. So the Clean Industrial Deal, and also look at the Cyprus EU presidency program. Because if you look at that program, it's fresh. I think it was published a few days ago. You will see what the implications for you. So what will likely progress is energy transition, framed as a security issue, green technology, innovation, competitiveness, and circular economy. That's hard, and also water. So these are the key topics. So it's worth reading that through, and you will understand the broader signal for you as a sustainability professional or for a sustainability team. So that would be my advice to look at that.
Perfect, perfect. Yeah, I think with that, thank you so much, Gabriela. I know we are 6 minutes past. Sorry for that.
Mhm.
Maybe, yeah, if time permits, we can have a follow-up interview so that we still have a few topics which we can cover, maybe looking at your availability. And I wish you a nice evening. Thank you so much once again for sharing all these insights and inputs, which can be really valuable and useful for our people who are working in sustainability.
Thank you so much for the invitation. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.
Cheers. Bye.